This is a very unimportant issue. This is a very, very, very minute problem. And it's not even really a problem, but there are a handful of New York Mets fans and even non New York Mets fans who are upset that Beyonce's playing at Citi Field. And usually, a lot of people, I'm basically taking Craig Calatero's point here, that there are a lot of people who use the argument stick to sports unless it goes against something that they think, and then thus they're going to make it a social or political argument. And there's a lot of people who are saying stuff like, oh, she's a cop hater, and the Mets have always been pro law enforcement. The thing about Citi Field is, and let's not beat around the bush, Citi Field is a venue. It is a venue, thus it's a business, and there is clearly a demand for Beyonce to perform in New York's one of New York's biggest baseball stadiums. There's a clear demand for it. And if you're upset by that, don't go. It's really easy to understand. You don't have to go to this. It's not that important. And if you want to boycott Citi Field, that's fine. That's your money. But remember this, there's a historical precedent for wherever the Mets play, there have been concerts with politically charged musicians. And I like to think about The Clash, who performed at Shea Stadium. And they performed at Shea Stadium in 1982, on October 13th, 1982. And they had a song called I'm So Bored with the USA. And they were a left leaning band that had certain political views, but not entirely. They changed their mindsets a little bit over time, but they did have that song. So if you're going to make the argument that, hey, Beyonce can't play here because she has a political viewpoint that may differ with us as a fan base, then you have to be mad at even back at Shea Stadium. Because if you're calling yourself lifelong Mets fans, you have to be even mad back then as well. It's not that important, people. It is a venue. And if people don't go to it, she won't perform there again. So get over it. It's not that big of a deal.